And we're back in Prosper. Scott Powell, along with our newest member to the KXEZ broadcast team, Ethan Herrera. And Ethan, maybe in the second half, we'll spend a little time getting into your background and what all you've done in your young career. Ethan's a 23-year-old, and I'm over here at 60. My goodness, I'm old enough to be your grandfather. But welcome along, and Ethan's going to bring you the play-by-play, so we'll see what he's got early on tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. I'm out here finally getting some sports, and I know that it's week number 3, but I am excited to see some actual live sports. I've been up in Oklahoma the past few weeks.
Well, let's look at Gunter's opposition tonight, the Whitesboro Bearcats. They are struggling at 0-2, especially offensively, as they've been outscored by Bells 20-6 and Aubrey 26-3. That's a total of 46-9 through the first 2 weeks of the season. It's a pretty solid program as we look at their history a little bit. This is a program that has made the playoffs the last 9 years, when the previous 7 years before the last 9, they had losing records and did not make the playoffs. Now, the furthest this program has gone is the third round since 2004, by the way, is what I'm looking at. That's as far back as my history would go. But in those 9 years that they've made the playoffs, the last 9, they've won at least one playoff game 6 of those 9 years. So that is pretty impressive. They're out of District 4 3A. They're picked to finish 4th this year, according to Dave Campbell's magazine, behind Brock, Pilot Point, who, by the way, will play Gunter next week, and Boyd. And then Whitesboro is your 4th place pick there. They lost quite a bit to graduation, 14 starters, 7 on both sides of the ball. They returned 4 on each side of the football. They do return 16 lettermen despite losing 17 lettermen. Back to this year's team, really struggling offensively, averaging 12 first downs, 23.5 yards a game on the ground, a much better passing total of 131.5 a game, but total offense just 154.5 yards a game. Jacob Hermes, though, has done a pretty good job at quarterback. 19 of 30, 205 yards, 10.8 per completion. Mac Harper, I should say, has also played some quarterback. It looks like they're going to eventually settle on Hermes, though. Harper, 8 out of 9, but for just 36 yards passing. Grayson Ledbetter, the top back, but only 71 yards in the first 2 games, and 4.4 a carry is not bad. 35 a game. Devin Price, number 2, 13 for 32, but just 2.5 a carry. Price, though, kind of your all-around offensive player. Leading receiver, 4 catches, 70 yards, 17 and a half a catch. Yeah. Mac Harper, also all-around player with 2 catches, 56 yards, 28 a catch. And then Sean Shares, probably the tight end. He wears number 84. Well, our roster says he might be wearing number 3. We'll check that early on. 6 catches, 50 yards, 8.5 per catch. By the way, Price is a player to look for on the defensive side. He comes in as the team's leading tackler with 12. Garton is the second leading tackler with 11 on the season. So there is a quick snapshot of Gunter's opponent tonight. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll continue with our pregame show as Whitesboro getting ready to come out. And we'll tell you what their color scheme is tonight. And Gunter hopefully will be coming out soon, and we'll kick this one off shortly here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Gunter Tigers coming into this one tonight at 1-1, a very impressive, easy win over Van Alstyne. It was expected, 48-7 in week 1. And then, as the number 1 team in Class 3A Division 2, they played the number 3 team in Class 3A Division 1, Pottsboro, and a very impressive Pottsboro football team. By the way, Pottsboro made it to the 3A Division 1 championship game last year before losing. Of course, Gunter won the state championship in Division II last year and has won 2 of the last 4 3A Division II titles. So what a matchup that was. It was a ball game early. Pottsboro took the lead early and never trailed in the game, although Gunter was within a touchdown. They fell down 13-0, then scored a touchdown, make it 13-7. But Pottsboro never gave the lead up, and Gunter had a very late touchdown just to make the final score 34-21. If you're at the game, you could just tell that really the game was not as close as the score might indicate. Pottsboro seemed to be in control from the get-go. So we expect a big rebound tonight from Gunter, and they've got to be a heavy favorite coming into this one. Why do I say that? Well, if you look at the series between these two teams, this will be the 7th year in a row these two teams have met in non-district play. They did not play the previous 12 years before that, dating all the way back to 2004. Now, in the last 6 times these two teams have played, Gunter has won every game and handily. The average margin of victory in these 6 games has been 30 points a game. The closest game was a 10-point win in 2016 for Gunter, 27-17. They won by 11 points 2 years ago, 21-10. But the other margins of victory have been in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So that's why we feel like Gunter is going to be another heavy, heavy favorite here tonight.
I guess it's fair to say that they have their number on that one.
You look at the color schemes. This is a home game for Gunter. They have not played in their home stadium yet. A little bit worried about the COVID virus. So this one, and I hear that next week's game with Pilot Point will also be here at the Prosper ISD. So Gunter in their home blue, all blue with white numerals, white trim, the white tiger on the helmet. Whitesboro will have their white tops with maroon pants and maroon helmets as the captains are meeting at the center of the field. So let's keep an eye on that, Ethan, and let's see what the results of the toss is. The toss has just occurred. The referee, by the way, we know the referee and the rest of his crew very well. In a moment, I'll get into that. But Whitesboro won the toss. It looks like they have elected to defer. Is that correct? Yeah, they will defer till the second half. No, and they're also going to kick off. I'm not really sure about that. When you defer, you don't also – Gunter, I guess Gunter took the football, which means Whitesboro will kick off. Whitesboro will go right to left, south to north, and Gunter will go left to right, north to south. By the way, we don't have a flag up, so it's hard to tell if there's much wind here tonight. The forecast calls for temperatures to drop through the 70s tonight. It's just a perfect evening. A few wispy clouds, not going to have any effect on this game. We shouldn't have any rain tonight. And it should be a light breeze. Actually, I now see the flags, and they are pinned to the poles way across the way in the end zone, the south end zone. So we don't even have any wind right now. If we do get any, though, this is kind of a wide open stadium. A little blockage on the north end because of a building, but anyway, it's for the most part, it's wide open. But gosh, you couldn't pick better conditions for a football game. Don't you know the kids are enjoying practice and football right now that the temperature has changed here. It's early fall.
No, especially since it's been in the triple digits as of late, but now it's getting cooler, like you said, heading into mid-September. And out comes Whitesboro.
Hey, let's take one more break, and we'll come back with that opening kickoff in a moment here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. And we're back, about ready for kickoff. Don't forget, if you can't get us at 92.1 FM KXEZ, you can go to TuneIn Radio, hear us anywhere in the world. Let those out-of-town family and friends know about that. Gunter football tonight, TuneIn Radio, or at KXEZ 92.1. Again, Whitesboro will kick off. Gunter will receive and go left to right. And Ethan, our new announcer tonight, Ethan Herrero, will handle the play-by-play. You were the play-by-play voice for what school in Oklahoma?
For Oklahoma Panhandle State University, home of the Aggies.
Did all kinds of sports there at Panhandle State, you said?
Everything from football to baseball, volleyball, softball, soccer. Everything you could think of, I did it. I almost had the chance to call rodeo games up, rodeo up there too.
There's something I've avoided intentionally for quite a while. That would be rodeo play-by-play.
It'd be hard to do, that's for sure.
I need an analyst.
Yeah.
Who basically will do all the talking.
And you just called the main point. That's kind of what I was hoping to get into.
Well, take it away, Ethan, and I'll chime in with a few good words here and there. I love those Gunter uniforms. How about you? Those all blue.
Yeah, all blue is fantastic. You got the captain, Devin Price, moving it up the middle. Mishandled a bit, falling down one of the Tigers, and they'll take it around the 32-yard line. Hopefully, Gunter come out firing like they usually do. One thing for Whitesboro is that it's going to be a very tough game for them if they have any chance to stop the Gunter Tigers. They're going to have to make sure in the secondary they can get that stop.
Yeah, their first two opponents aren't nearly as good as Gunter is traditionally, and they lost those first two games. That's why Gunter is an extremely heavy favorite tonight. But you never know. That's why we're playing the game, right?
Exactly. Pitch out to the right. He's got blockers. Cuts the corner and is out of the 40-yard line. That's number 8, Ethan Sloan. Usually the slot receiver. He's a sophomore, actually.
As always, when you run that toss sweep, you need the blocking around the corner, and he got a pretty good block from Cade Roller, his tall wide receiver over here. But good pursuit by Whitesboro, kept it down to a 6-yard gain.
Out in the pistol. Have to go the option left. It's Sloan again. Up the middle. He's got the first down right up to about the 44-yard line.
Interesting there as Sloan strung the first one out. This is a little more of an option pitch as Hudson, the quarterback, took a couple of steps before he pitched it end over end. Sloan immediately cut it up after being cut down around the corner on going right. He thought he'd see what the middle looked like and got a first down, as you said.
So we see an empty backfield. 3 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left. Pitch, screen out to the left. Diving for the first down is Lemons, but I think they'll mark him just a bit short. He's second in the yard.
3 receivers were right, 2 left, and the short side of the field to the left. So he only had 1 blocker over there, but also only 2 defenders. A quick out pass, easy pitch and catch, and he did get a block and almost got the first down, a 9-yard gain.
And you got to like the pace that they're going with. The Tigers are. Hand off to the right, off the guard. Nice block and a gain of about 7. We'll take it down to the Whitesboro 39.
A good blocks by the right guard and the right tackle. He went over tackle and guard and then cut it outside.
The outside, a gain of a couple of yards by Ashton Bennett, the sophomore tight end. Haven't listed as a tight end, but running as a fullback, it looks like.
We got our first flag deep in the secondary from the back judge. So, there's only certain things you can see on a simple running play as a back judge. Delay is one, but I doubt it was that as late as he threw the flag. Here comes David Look, the referee. Well, you still have no signal. Now Look says, looks like a illegal substitution. Whitesboro. So Gunter, it's just a 5-yard penalty, I think, Ethan. So they're going to take the play. Why not take the penalty and make it 1st and 5? Well, they'll take 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 sounds good to me in the pistol. Out to the flat. He's got a pace. Up the sideline. Makes a good move and inside the 5, and the Gunter Tigers going to have 1st and goal on a nice pass out to Ethan Sloan. He's been a big part of this offense here in the first drive.
Sloan with good speed. I'm impressed with the Whitesboro speed on defense because they caught up with him, but Sloan stepped inside after he went down the far sideline, broke 1 tackle, and got even more than he should have.
Graham hands it off. Ashton Bennett gets close to the goal line, but his meat mark just short. He's 2nd and goal.
Devin Price tripped him up, and he just could not get that ball to the goal line as he came up short at the 1.
Bunch set again quickly, and he's in for the first touchdown of the night for the Gunter Tigers. Ashton Bennett right up the middle. And a quick drive. That's what we're going to see all night long from the Tigers.
Very impressive, Ethan. 67 yards.
Without a hiccup at all.
Yeah, 8 plays. 2 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock. Classic Gunter football. Couple of possession passes. Real short passes.
You see Logan Hubbard. The lefty put through for the extra point. 7-0. The Gunter Tigers lead. We'll see them kick off to Whitesboro. You're listening to Gunter Football Action, KXEZ 92.1 FM.
Very impressive opening drive. Gunter 67 yards. Bennett with a 1-yard touchdown run. Hubbard with the extra point. Tigers up 7-0. Don't forget to support our local sponsors and shop Preston Trails Farms in Gunter and Spirit Ink Custom Screen Printing and Embroidery in Sherman. Thanks to those two sponsors tonight. Here's your kickoff.
It'll be fielded by Reed Thompson. Down inside the 5. Tries to get a block, cuts it back upfield, and down at the 15, making the 16-yard line. And we'll see Whitesboro take the offensive side of the ball for the first time tonight.
Reed Thompson did something that's really hard to do against Gunter. They have good speed. He picks the ball up near this near sideline and then tries to go all the way across the field diagonally, and he really never had a chance, and he couldn't even get back to the 20-yard line.
So we'll see this Whitesboro offense take over, led by the junior Jacob Hermes. The offset pistol formation, hands it right back up the middle, and it's Price with a 4-yard gain.
And they got 4 out of basically nothing as Gunter stacked it up nicely. He just kept the feet going, would not go down easily, kind of backed his way for 4.
Well, if it's any offensive weapon they've got to look out for, the Tigers do, and for Whitesboro, it's going to be Price. He can do it all.
Both sides of the ball, leading tackler, top ball carrier.
2 receivers out to the left, a pitch out to Price. Tries to follow his block, and a nice play. They wrapped him up around the 20-yard line. Gained a couple, hit him initially, but got out of that tackle, like I said, at the 20-yard line. Now for 3rd and 6.
Great play by Cade Roller. He played off of the block over here at the near end, played off of Kyle Graves' block, the left tackle, and then reached out and grabbed a hold of Price's jersey and then got help from his teammates. And he blew up the whole play from the get-go, forcing a 3rd and long.
2 receivers out to the far side. Hermes out to Price in the flat. And a good open field tackle right there by Cole Lemons. And forced a 4th down for Whitesboro.
Hermes is going to feel that one. Yeah, he got the screen pass off, but right as he delivered it, he got leveled as Ashton Bennett was in his face and took him to the ground. So he looks okay when he got up and left the field, forcing the 4th down here.
Whitesboro here to punt. And a short punt. A roll out past the 50. Had a good roll. And will be stopped at the 46, 47-yard line.
Terrible punt if you're here. If you just read about it, you never know it's a terrible punt because it got a 15-yard roll on a straight-up punt, and it ended up rolling into Gunter territory to the 47. That's a 35-yard punt. He deserved about 10 of it based on style point.
No, and a head straight up in the air like that, you got to hope for that roll, and they got it. So the Gunter Tigers will take the offensive end up 7-0 with 7:33 here in the first quarter. Hudson Graham will stay in the pistol formation. There'll be Bennett behind him. Out to the flat, it's Ethan Sloan. Makes a couple of misses, tries to reverse his feet and gets maybe a couple of yards on that one after a swarm of Bearcats.
Well, on those quick out passes, you rely on the other 2 receivers or other receiver or 2 who are out there to get the blocks, and Gunter just did not get the blocks they needed to free Stone. to free Sloan. It doesn't take much with Sloan's speed, but he was bottled up. The worst play of the night goes for 2 yards for Gunter.
See Graham again, a couple of men in motion. Throws it down the field. He's got a man, and it's picked off. Whitesboro secondary had a beat on it, and a wide open receiver, and Graham just missed him.
Yeah, it was set up beautifully, ran a play action fake, and that's probably why Hellman was so wide open right down the middle of the field. The defender who picked it off was 5 to 7 yards further downfield. So in other words, easy pass and catch. Unfortunately, Graham forgot to throw a nice pass, overshot Hellman, and playing center field was under back and made the interception.
Yeah, I kind of just caught him. It's one of those plays where right place, right time, and Okelbach was able to pick that one off and actually had a good return to boot. The Whitesboro Bearcats will take over at about the 42-yard line. Hermes drops back in the pocket, throws over the middle. Big coverage, and it's picked off right away. Heading down the field, finally taken down about the 45, the Whitesboro 45, and that was Cooper Wade.
Well, you can bring it back. This is going to be pass interference on Gunter, and I think the same kid, Cooper Wade, who picked it off, is the kid who bumped into the receiver, knocked him to the ground, and then the ball's sitting there to be picked off. This has got to be defensive interference. I mentioned the officials. This is my third game. I've done Van Alstyne and Gunter, and then Gunter and Pottsboro, and now tonight's game. I've had the exact same officials all 3 games. And somebody asked me down in the PA booth, well, what'd you think of them? I said, well, I never thought twice about them except for the fact it's the same names, which is a good thing. If you're not thinking about the officials, that means they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, so the penalty puts it into Gunter territory at about the 43-yard line. Man in motion. Hermes couldn't see if he elected to keep it, and I think he did, and get bashed up at the line of scrimmage, and a poor decision from Hermes.
They kind of rode the back, and just it's almost like he didn't want to give that ball up, and it's kind of an ugly, slowly developing play that went for a predictable 1 yard.
See them do it again. I think it's 2nd and 9 is what they mark it officially.
By the way, Whitesboro's only got 1 first down, and that was on the interference call, so they're really struggling between the tackles right now.
In the pistol formation, Hermes in the double spread. Got a receiver out to the left. We'll take him down to the 30-yard line, and a first down for Hermes and the Whitesboro Bearcats.
A little bit of a zone cushion-type secondary there because Sean Shares just went about 10 yards down this near sideline, stopped, and waited for the football. They gave him a heck of a cushion. All it took was a good throw, which Hermes did. One thing, this offense has really struggled under 200 yards a game, but Hermes is a pretty good thrower, 19 out of 30 coming into this one tonight. Very accurate passer.
They're about 63% on the season. And rides that one. Hermes keeps it right up the middle, and it's pulled back down. It'll gain about 3 to 4 yards on the quarterback keeper.
Well, the little fake handoff over the right side is what developed a hole right up the middle, which Hermes took, but that hole closed in a hurry, and he only got 3 out of what looked like it might go for more.
Yeah, Grayson Ledbetter was in motion on that play. They'll probably look to go to him more often than not in the running game.
I like the way they're mixing it up, though.
They're getting everybody in on the action.
Yeah. When you look at their stats, everybody plays, just nobody does much in their first 2 games.
2 slot packs offset, run right up the middle, and is met by a bunch of Tigers.
Linebacker Mark Garcia met him in the hole. Nice form stop by Garcia, and then held on as others arrived and finished them off.
Like it was a gain of maybe half a yard.
3rd and long, although probably 4-down territory, Ethan. It would be a 43-yard field goal attempt, so you think they've got 2 downs to get 7 here, 6.
Oh, without question. Hermes checks the play again from head coach Cody Fagan.
They're changing it. Fagan changed the call over there on the sideline, but they had plenty of time on the play clock.
Rolls out to his right. The throw. He had the right idea, but it was incomplete. Targeted for receiver number 13, Reed Thompson.
timing was really off. The receiver really hadn't even turned to cut out after the ball had arrived. I think the receiver thought he had more time to make his cut, and it was also woefully underthrown. And they're going to try this 43-yard field goal, almost dead center of the field. Good angle here.
Jorge Montez. Snap down, kick. Doesn't quite have the distance, but you know what? It was on target.
Yeah, it was. I'm impressed. So anything under 40, you would think the rest of the way he's going to have a really good shot at it. Again, not a breath of air as we look to the flags down in the south end. Of course, the negative is he didn't get any help either. A little bit of breeze might have given him a chance there.
So a turnover on downs, and the Tigers will take possession of the football at the 26-yard line.
Nice little possession there, though. They kept it for 6 plays, went from their 42 to the 26 of Gunter. You know, when you're a heavy underdog, you've lost the last 6 meetings handily. There's a little bit of confidence Whitesboro probably gained with that little drive there.
Handoff right up the middle. It's going to be Bennett once again, but stopped after a gain of 2 yards. They've gone heavily to Bennett early in this game.
I'm impressed with Whitesboro defensively so far. They're not giving up big chunks. They're making Gunter earn everything they get to this point. As they're in a 3-man front, 2 inside, 2 outside linebackers.
The man in motion, back up to Bennett again, and he gains about 6.
Bennett, your classic pounding fullback at 175 pounds. He hit in there hard, bounced off of a tackler, and it is hard for one man to bring Ashton Bennett down, and he got quite a bit out of nothing, setting up a 3rd and short, although in their own territory, they're going to have to get 2 yards or punt it away here. Gunter does not punt much through the years.
Well, Gunter in the bunch set, trying to get those 2 yards, just like you said. Man in motion, hands it off to Bennett again. Looks like he's stopped. And a great play, a great defensive stand from Whitesboro.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 or 5 white shirts involved there. As I said, you got a gang tackle Bennett. What do you do? I mean, Gunter is a team that has a lot of confidence. Believe me, they think they can get this, but do you take the chance on 4th and 2, only up 7-0 in the first quarter, and they come out in punt formation? You do not see much action if you're a punter for the Gunter Tigers, except last week against Possum.
It'll be Caden Rigsby back there to punt for the Tigers. Good punt and a fair catch around the 29-yard line.
Now, I think that was Graham, the punter, number 2.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
And the reason I know that for sure, first of all, I don't think you can have the same number on 2 guys if they both play. But check the towel coming out of the back of his pants. That was kind of the giveaway for me anyway. My eyes aren't that good. 2-10, a little exchange of punts there as both defenses have taken over.
Yeah, the Gunter Tigers still holding on to that 7-0 lead as Bennett scored early on the goal line run. We'll see if Whitesboro had a good drive last drive. See if they can.
Yeah. They're winning the time of possession so far, Whitesboro is.
See Hermes with the pitch outside. Price ran into his own guy, it looked like, and did not gain a yard. Headed right back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job by Ashton Bennett. The left defensive tackle just pursues down the line, hits him from behind, then gets help from, I believe, the cornerback over there also. They did a sandwich tackle there on Price.
Yeah, Bennett in pursuit, doing it all.
Running wide is not easy on against the Gunter Tiger defense that has speed.
2nd and 10. Offset pistol formation. There's an option and a pitch to the left. And for about 5-6 yards, make it. It'll be the pitch off to Paul Velton.
One thing about this 3A program, both teams here, when you watch a lot of 3A like I do, Ethan, you're going to see a lot of guys going both ways. Sloan, Graham, the quarterback, played a lot in the secondary last week. You don't see, the one position where they rarely go both ways is quarterback, but not at this level.
He certainly showed that he can do both, even punt as well.
Big play here, 3rd and 3. Whitesboro would have to punt from their own territory.
Hermes missed the handoff, it looked like. Goes right. Looks like it barely got the first down.
They are lucky, Ethan. What happened was he held the ball out there. I think the backs went the wrong way. I don't think they were on the same page. But Hermes was smart enough to eat it and get what he could, and what he got was a first down. They're lucky they're not punting it away on a busted play.
Extremely smart play from the upperclassmen. Able to get that first down. Technically their third first down of the game.
One on penalty on the last possession on an interference.
Hermes with the pitch out to Price. Price couldn't quite get the block from his fullback and receiver, but we'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And for the second time, it'll be a 2nd and 10.
To the short side of the field, you can only go so wide. That play is intended to give Price the choice. You can take it outside or cut it up. He cut it up, which I think is smart against Gunter. You don't want to try and run wide against the Tigers. And unfortunately, there were 4 defenders waiting for it. That's going to do it for the first quarter.
That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. 7-0. The Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats. Be right back here in a bit. You're listening to Gunter Tigers football on 92.1 KXEZ FM. Gunter Tigers football here on 92.1 KXEZ FM. And the Tigers have a 7-0 lead. Start of the second quarter against the Whitesboro Bearcats. Off a 4-yard run from Ashton Bennett to start the scoring. And the Bearcats trying to put together another nice drive, although the other one ended in a missed field goal. And check that, it was a 1-yard run from Ashton Bennett to open up the scoring. Still trying to get everything set and ready to go for the second quarter action.
Thanks to our sponsors, Grayson Cullen Electric Co-op, serving more than 20 ISDs. Debbie Howard Real Estate, a brand new sponsor here on KXEZ. Thank you to Debbie Howard.
Hermes back in the pocket, throws over the middle into double coverage, intended for Major Ledbetter.
Don't forget to support our local sponsors in Shop Preston Trail Farms in Gunter, Spirit Ink, custom screen printing and embroidery in Sherman, and also the North Texas Fair coming to Denton, October 16. Check that date. At 16 through the 24th. Get your corny dogs and all those fixings at the North Texas Fair.
So 3rd down and long. Hermes with only his second, maybe his third pass of the game in the offset pistol formation. 2 receivers to the far side. Play action. Gets his receiver. Almost got the corner. But a nice play right there from Ethan Sloan out in the flat to make it a 4th and long and force a punt by Whitesboro.
Tunnel screen executed pretty nicely. Normally the receiver will catch it. He's kind of coming back toward the quarterback and curving his way forward. Well, normally they just then take off, around left tackle or so. He tried to reverse his field after catching it and give Ethan Sloan a lot of credit for standing his ground and making the tackle in the open field.
Quick punt will head inside of the 20. Actually, not a bad punt down at the 16-yard line. And the Tigers will take over. Have a long drive ahead of them if they want to get another score here with 11-13 in the second quarter.
44-yard punt, punts a 35 and 44 so far for Whitesboro.
We'll see Hudson Graham leading the Tigers offense. We'll see if we can get his legs working a little bit. Hasn't seen much of that offensive threat on the ground from him.
Yeah, so far they have not used him as a runner. Hudson Graham is really good, especially cutting it up around tackle after he looks like he's going to sprint outside with it. So watch that. He can really cut on a dime.
Hellman the deep back. Now he's pitched out to the right side, cuts the corner, and will get the first down at the 28-yard line. And that was Ethan Sloan.
Just a simple toss sweep. Gunter runs it well. It's not the most exciting play in the world, but they execute it very well. And they've run it several times already tonight. Gain of 11 there.
Approaching 10:50 to go here in the first half of play. Gunter leads 7-0 against the Whitesboro Bearcats. 1st and 10 from the 27.
Gunter's held the ball for only 5 minutes so far.
Graham out to the flat, gets a block, and is downed. Excuse me, that is Cannon Lembert down at the 46, but there's a flag on the field down near the 34-yard line.
It's in the area of an illegal block downfield. We'll see what David Look has to tell us, the referee. Looks like this one is coming back. Holding Gunter. Now, if they mark it from where the marker is, that's a yard from the first down. So let's see where it's marked off from. Yeah, they're going to mark it off from there, making it a 1st and 9. Well, wait a minute. Nope, they are going to mark it from the line of scrimmage. They changed their mind, so it'll be a 1st and 20, and they'll put it down at the 16.
So you've seen this Gunter team operate. What do you think right here? Are they going pass, or are they going to stick with that run game?
There's an old saying in Gunter, they run it until they have to throw it.
Out to Bennett right up the middle. And he's just carrying those Bearcats with him. He keeps rolling, and down at about the 28-yard line. Excuse me, that was not Bennett. It was Hellman on the run. And a fantastic run, and that is 2nd and 8. Almost erased that penalty altogether.
Another thing about a Gunter running game, they just throw the kitchen sink at you. You're going to see several guys run with the ball.
Out to the left, it's Sloan again. And he's just making everybody miss. It's finally brought down at the 43-yard line.
Just power football. They pulled a couple of offensive linemen off the right side to lead the way. It was a little bit of what you call a wing-back reverse. That's what I call it anyway. And so they get the motion going one way, and they reverse it with the wing-back, and you got 2 of the big linemen up front, and they blocked it easily. By the way, they blocked it a little too easily maybe, as we've got – actually, it's an illegal shift against Gunter, so penalties are killing them on this possession.
A few good runs, all erased in one single play.
Maybe that little reverse to the wingback was some kind of illegal shift or something that caused it. I'm guessing, obviously.
It'll be 2nd and 13.
Well, let's see where they put it. They're going to put it down at the 24. Original line was the 16. 27. They got a first down. It's 2nd and 13 to summarize. Not really sure what they just did, but it's 2nd and 13 as a result.
Hudson Graham with a man in motion. 2 receivers are left and right. Hands it off up the middle, and it's stopped. Not even a gain of a yard. And that's Hellman on the carry.
I am a little surprised that Hudson Graham does not have a carry yet tonight, because he runs the option so well and loves to cut it up and keep it. No, maybe they're just setting Whitesboro up for the kill here. They're going to pull it out here any minute.
And maybe they just want to get everybody their touches, get everyone involved. Trips out to the left. Hellman behind Graham. Drops back. Now it's going to roll out to his left. Throws deep down the middle of the field. Dangerous pass and batted up. I'm not sure if it was caught or not. Referee saying incomplete pass.
Well, Whitesboro, it all started with the call from the sideline. What defense are we going to run? They have 5 people down the middle of the field playing secondary for Whitesboro. In other words, they expected a pass. They got a pass. That's why Graham just stood there and surveyed the field. He couldn't find anybody open. It was 2 on 5. He had 2 receivers and 5 defenders down the field. And of course, the great offensive line blocking. They gave him all day. He finally, I guess, got impatient and just unloaded it. Lucky it wasn't picked off.
Yeah, Graham is very lucky it wasn't picked off. Well, he punts that away, and a terrible punt out to the right side. Takes a favorable bounce, but maybe not favorable enough at the 49-yard line.
Just 25 yards even. They just don't get much practice punting, and that's a good thing. That's something you don't want practice at.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But for the time being, 7-0. The Whitesboro Bearcats hanging in this one with 8:42 left to go here in the first half. We'll see if Jacob Hermes can lead another successful drive. Lead a successful drive.
Even though Whitesboro is 7, and even though they're 0-2, they were 7-5 a year ago. They lost 14 starters, so maybe expect a little bit of a struggle early, but they have played good defense first 2 weeks. They just only produced 13 points of offense.
Two receivers out to the right, hand off right up the middle. It'll be about a 3-yard gain. That'll be from Grayson Ledbetter.
20-6 loss to Bells, 26-3 to Aubrey. I mean, that's 2 games in which their defense kept them within striking distance. They just couldn't produce any offense, averaging just 12 first downs and 146 of total offense.
And off back to Ledbetter up the middle and a gain of 2 yards. Looks like it'll be a 3rd and 5.
A little more conservative on the play calling here. They really mixed it up well in the first quarter, but I'm thinking it's because they have the advantage of field position right now. They figure they're going to get 4 downs out of most series here because they're in Gunter territory.
So 3rd and 4, drops back to throw out to the left and caught. Well, what a catch and what a throw. Catch by Sean Shares.
Yeah, Hermes threaded the needle there. There were 2 defenders in pretty good position, and he just threw it right between the defenders and into the waiting arms of Shares. It took a perfect pass, and it was.
Yeah, what we've seen so far, Hermes has been on point and accurate. I mean, 63% coming into this game.
They don't go long a lot, but he's very accurate with the short step.
Pitch out to the right and hit by a couple of Tigers and down at about the 35-yard line. No gain.
Good job by Adam Reed. Listen to this, an outside linebacker. I mean, I was an outside linebacker in high school, and I was 5'9", 145. This kid's even smaller. Adam Reed's 5'5", 130, playing outside linebacker, and he took that back on head on and forced the tackle.
And well, it helps to have that speed out there if someone tries to run out wide. Hermes in the offset pistol formation, 2 receivers out to his left. Drops back. There's a wide open man in the flat. It's Ledbetter, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets to about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, Gunter had it played well. They hit him for no loss, and a great job by Ledbetter to break the tackle. I love the play call. 2 receivers left, and they run the swing screen to the back around the left side. In other words, it's got 2 blockers downfield. They clear out that side by sending those 2 receivers downfield and wide open spaces for the back, Ledbetter.
Hand off to Ledbetter once again. And it's going to be close to the first down. We'll see what the referee marks it.
I think he is right on it. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's got it. They did not need the 24. They needed about the 24 and a half, and I think he's got it by a half yard here, Ethan. I'll be shocked if they even measure this. Now, my eyes have been wrong, and David Look is not ruled a first down yet. They may measure this.
I thought I saw the line judge signal the first down, but
well, they may measure that. You know, if the coach says, do me a favor and measure it, they might do it as a courtesy. Nowadays, they rarely measure anymore because the markings on the field are so good that the official can usually tell without. I think they might just be doing this for the coach.
So with 6:06 left in the first half, 7-0, the Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats.
Fast-moving game so far. And
quick.
He's got it right on the mark.
Oh, Scott, you got that. You caught that one. Didn't even need the marker.
I've officiated a lot of games from the press box, let me tell you. Pretty good drive here. Whitesboro had a good drive earlier in the game, and this one started, they started at the Gunter 49, but, they've been moving the football pretty well. They just bogged down.
They've ate up a lot of the clock.
Missed a 43-yard field goal earlier.
Ledbetter right up the middle again. They're just going to keep going to that well. Ledbetter with an 8-yard run.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. You don't want to try and go wide on this Gunter team. So what is successful? The quick hitters around center and guard. That's how they're getting their yardage. In other words, the initial blocking by the guards in the center have been good pretty much.
Yeah, they've been this offset pistol formation. Again to Ledbetter. Tries to go off the guard, maybe gets a couple. Again, close to the first down.
Yeah, it's kind of the same situation. He's about a half a yard short, but, third and a half yard, I like Whitesboro's chances because they'll probably go for it on fourth anyway.
Another quick play. Ledbetter right back up the middle. And it's Grayson Ledbetter. just really dominating this drive and carries.
This is your classic 3 yards in a cloud of dust. This is nothing fancy, but they're getting it done on every down and setting up short 3rd and 4th.
And if they can chip away 4 yards each carry, they'll keep doing it. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 7-0. Ledbetter once again. Finally. I mean, he gained a couple of yards, but it's finally going to stop.
Tell you what happened. Gunter knew what was going to happen. I mean, they've gotten pretty predictable, in other words. So Gunter shot a defensive end linebacker from this near side all the way into the backfield, and he tripped him up right after he got the handoff, and that slowed the play down. So Gunter's going to start taking some chances, it looks like.
We'll see if Coach Cody Fagan switches it up on this play. Well, goes right back to Ledbetter and gains maybe a yard or two.
Well, we know the kicker's got pretty good range. He was just a little bit short from 43s, but, you know, I would think they want a touchdown. But on 3rd and long, something tells me they're going to end up probably with a field goal chance. I don't think they would go for it on 3rd and 7, on 4th and 7, but I would think they'd think twice about going for it on 4th and 1.
See if they hand it off to Ledbetter again. He is the deep back. Snap to Hermes. The throw out to the right.
Penalty, maybe a timeout. I'm guessing a timeout, Gunter. And Whitesboro took the timeout. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout. Back in a moment here on KXEZ. And we are back again. If you're having trouble getting us at 92.1, especially out-of-town friends and family, please let them know to go to TuneIn Radio. You can hear us anywhere in the world each week here on KXEZ. We got Van Alstyne hosting Gainesville next Friday night at 7:30, and then we'll start a Royce City schedule after that. We'll have each and every Royce City game in 2 weeks here on KXEZ.
Big defensive stand for Gunter. And a huge play by the quarterback, Hudson Graham, corner and quarterback.
Yeah, it was a nice pass right on target, a slant over the middle at the goal line, and looked like it might be completed, but Graham got his arms around the intended receiver and was able to strip that ball out in the end zone. So Whitesboro is going to try and settle for the field goal. Gunter will still hold the lead, either 7-0 or 7-3. Pretty good angle right-footed kicker, the right hash mark from the 16.
Jorge Montez gets it up and puts it right through the uprights for the first score for Whitesboro of the night. So 7-3 the score. Gunter Tigers still lead. 3:36 left in the first half. We'll catch you right after this. You're listening to 92.1 KXEZ FM. Gunter Tiger football, and the Bearcats just kicked it off, and it'll be caught and returned to the 45-yard line. And we'll see the Tigers, who hold a 7-3 lead with 3.5 minutes left to go here in the first half, trying to get something to go in offensively. They haven't really been electric, if you will, on that side of the ball.
No, Whitesboro's played pretty good defense, as they did the first 2 weeks, despite their losses. I like to see Gunter open it up more, especially the quarterback option. Hudson Graham is a very good runner, and they haven't even run him yet in this game. So I think there's more in the playbook to explore tonight.
Trips out to the wide side, have a screen set for Sloan, gets the corner, and he is quick. Past the 50, and met by a bunch of Bearcats and stood up at about the 38-yard line. Ethan Sloan has had himself a good day.
And no penalty markers, as they've kind of derailed Gunter so far. But, yeah, with Sloan, you just want to get it to him in space, as you've seen several times tonight on the toss sweeps and the quick out passes. He's probably the quickest player on offense, and he's tough to catch in the open field.
So a bunch set, handed off to Bennett, and it has an open hole, and a huge gain for Ashton Bennett, who had that touchdown early in the first quarter, only touchdown of the game for either team.
I love the way they mixed it up there. You get the ball on the perimeter to Sloan, and then you just run the simple dive by pounding the 175-pound Bennett right up the middle.
And they're moving quick to Sloan again, hits the outside, gets to the corner, makes a cut. And Hudson Graham to Ethan Sloan, that's been the connection for the day, down at about the 19-yard line. Make it 2nd and 2.
Gunter finally looks like they're hitting on all cylinders. They finally appear to be in their groove. You notice they're going a little bit quicker, back-to-back first downs. They're finally just settled in, I think, after kind of taking their almost like a boxing match the first quarter and a half, trying to get used to each other. And Whitesboro is going to take a quick timeout. Why don't we just keep it right here? I want to remind you that KXEZ 92.1 FM, the Possum, and KHYI 95.3 are sister stations. The Range, which is 95.3, deeply rooted and invested here in North Texas. Thanks for listening to the great country music at the Range, and then, of course, country music and football and all sports here at KXEZ. Don't forget, we are your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. They'll kick off their season September 26th against Vanderbilt. I haven't looked recently. I'll see if there's a game time for that yet, but we'll have a 1-hour pregame before every A&M kickoff. All their games are right here live on 92.1 FM KXEZ, and Alabama comes calling to Kyle Field on October the 3rd, their second game, and then Florida comes in on October 10th. So quite a big early schedule for the Aggies. Football and basketball, Texas A&M right here on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
2:32 left to go in the half. There's Graham pitched outside to the wide back, and we'll get the first down, and they'll mark him down at the 14-yard line, as that was Cannon Lemberg.
Yeah, great job by Lemberg. He wanted to go around the corner, but the pursuit was there, so he did a quick spin and was able to evade that tackler and gain an extra few and get the first down. Good recognition, good vision there by Lindbergh.
The Tigers knocking at the door again. Quarterback keeper for Graham. But the Bearcats are right there to gobble it up at about the 12-yard line. So the first carry, we see the first actual keeper design for Graham.
And you're wondering, who in the heck have I been talking about all this time? Well, believe me, you'll see it at some point. He's much better when he cuts it up a little bit earlier. He really never cut it up. He just kind of curved his way around the end. When he plants the foot and cuts it over tackle, he's impressive.
There's a handoff to Bennett. Bennett down inside the 5-yard line, and Ashton Bennett has had himself a day. Makes it 1st and goal for the Gunter Tigers. Going quickly in a bunch set, and a timeout. Looks like it'll be called by Whitesboro.
No, it's called by Gunter.
By Gunter, excuse me.
The only thing stopping Gunter is Gunter with timeouts. My gosh, you're on a roll. You can just tell they're in that groove for the first time all night. They never got in this groove last week, by the way. Never seemed to find their groove. So what they do, they get up to the line, called timeout. What does that tell me? It tells me they didn't have the right people on the field, or they had the wrong formation. Something went wrong in the communication. Because why would you want to slow up an offense that's on a roll like that?
Well, just what I was about to say. Maybe Coach Jake Fiesel had saw something that maybe we didn't from up here. But either way, with 1:25 left to go in the half, 7-3, the Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats.
Yeah, what a job Coach Fiesel has done with this Gunter program. In the last 4 years, they've made it to the state championship game 3 times, won 2 of them, and they won 4 straight regional championships. That 4th year, that other year of the 4, they lost in the state semifinals. Interesting, I've done their state semifinal game against Canadian in Vernon the last 4 straight years in the state semifinals. I think I'll go ahead and make my reservations at Vernon first, because I'm sure Canadian will be coming and calling again.
It's true. Like you said, Coach Fiesel has made this a football 3A powerhouse.
They've won 3 of those, and the one state semifinal they lost was to Canadian in that 4-year stretch, the last 4 years. And, of course, we're going to leave you for Gunter football after this week. We'll do Van Alstyne Gainesville next week, but we'll pick Gunter back up in the playoffs, and I'm sure they'll be there down the road.
Absolutely.
Back to play, 1st and goal. I like Gunter's chance as long as they don't fumble it here.
They go a bunch formation. Pitch out to the wide back, and he's going to walk in the end zone for a touchdown. Ethan Sloan has had his name all over this game and been running all over the field. 13-3 as the Tigers take a 10-point lead over the Whitesboro Bearcats.
As Brad Shan would say, walk the dog. I think he had 3 dogs on leashes there. I mean, there was not a defender anywhere near as they got him wide, and a good job by the offensive line to pin everybody inside. Nobody had a shot at him.
The lefty Logan Hubbard lines up the kick, and the extra point is good. And 14-3 to score now with 1:19 left to go here in the first half. More Gunter Tigers football from 92.1 KXEZ FM.
Thanks again to our sponsors. Don't forget to support our local sponsors. Shop Preston Trail Farms in Gunter, Spirit Ink, custom screen printing and embroidery in Sherman. Our new sponsor here, Debbie Howard Real Estate. Welcome aboard, Debbie. Grayson Collin Electric Co-op, serving more than 20 ISDs. The North Texas Fair in Denton, October 16th through the 24th. Get those corny dogs, all those fixings at the North Texas Fair. And thanks to all of our sponsors bringing you Gunter football, Ethan.
So Hubbard set to kick this one off, a 14-3 lead after a score and off a pitch from Graham to Ethan Sloan, who has had himself a fantastic day. Price fields it up around the 10-yard line, doesn't get much more than that. Check that, Reed Thompson. Him and Price collided a bit, and it's down at the 11-yard line, so that's where the Bearcats and Jake Hermes will start their drive.
Had trouble picking it up, and boy, you give Gunter an extra couple of seconds to get downfield with their speed, and he never had a chance. That's twice tonight. That the kickoff only went to about the 10-yard line, and they're starting at the 11th. What does that tell you about Gunter's speed downfield?
Yeah, that speed has been fantastic. We've seen it a lot on the defensive end. But like you said before, them running the ball right up the middle with Ledbetter all day long doesn't really showcase that speed.
There's only one timeout left for either team, and it's Whitesboro's timeout, so I kind of expect them to just run the clock here deep in their own territory. Gunter cannot stop it according to the scoreboard. And Whitesboro doesn't want to give away an easy touchdown here, so I think they're just going to let this clock run, although they hurry up to the line with 25 seconds on the play clock.
Ledbetter on that 3-yard run on first down. Now has it 2nd and 7.
If they're just running simple handoffs. So if you want to kill some clock, why not kill it yourself while you have the opportunity? In other words, don't snap the ball with 20 seconds on the play clock. Snap the ball with 5 seconds on the play clock. And if Gunter's out of timeouts, Whitesboro just took one. This doesn't make much sense if you're trying to kill the clock and avoid another easy Gunter score here before the half.
So they try to go with Ledbetter up the middle. Didn't get anything, so maybe a yard, so 3rd and 6 after this timeout, and got a chance to maybe if they throw it. I don't think they throw it right here, but if they do, by some chance.
Based on what I've seen so far with the clock management, nothing would surprise me. Maybe Gunter had a timeout left that I did not know about, was not on the scoreboard. Did you see who took a timeout there?
I think it might have been Gunter, although there was confusion with the referees as well.
All right. I know they had taken at least 1 or 2 earlier.
So 3rd and 6, 2 receivers out to the right of Hermes. And they'll hand it off to Ledbetter. Won't get much of anything, maybe 2 yards.
And another stoppage. Gunter must have had timeouts that were not on the scoreboard. Sorry, folks. As they take another one here, now Gunter will get the ball back. Whitesboro's going to have to punt it away. I'm not going to guess how many timeouts they have left because I've already blown it twice. So let's just say this, that Gunter is going to have a chance to put something together here. Logan Hubbard's not a bad kicker. I mean, he doesn't have a 50-yard leg, but if you can get him within 20 to 30 yards, he's pretty accurate.
I can see those passes out to the flat to Sloan. Maybe he can get out of bounds and maybe get a little closer for Hubbard.
Just a reminder, at halftime, we'll send it to Ethan back in the studio for a little country music, and then we'll be back with the second half.
So with 32 seconds left here in the first half of play, the Gunter Tigers lead the the Whitesboro Bearcats 14-3.
Not bad punting so far from Whitesboro. They've had a 35-yarder and a 44-yarder. And
can do.
Is that Sloan, the return man? Let's see where he stops as he's still retreating. They're expecting a pretty good punt here. Sloan's going to wait inside Gunter territory just barely. Here comes the punt, and it's a pretty good one.
End over end. Sloan fields it about the 45. Gets to the corner, and a great play by Whitesboro to down him at the 50-yard line.
42-yard punt. Got a good one when they needed it. It's going to be hard for Gunter with only 23 seconds left for a team that doesn't like to throw it much, although, you know what I like to see on the first play? Quick. They're on the right hash mark, so throw that quick out to Sloan and get a blocker in front and see if you can free him up down this near sideline.
Yeah, with Sloan's speed, maybe a block is all you need for him to get down that sideline. Officially at the 49-yard line, on their own 49.
Let's see where Sloan lines up here, Ethan. They're going to have him as a split end over on this near side, the wide side, I emphasize, only one receiver on the other side. 3 receivers over here.
Hudson Graham in the pistol formation. They like to go deep. He rolls out to the right and tries to keep the play alive and will not get much as he's brought down for a loss. Luckily, he got out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Boy, perfect situation at the wide side of the field with a quick receiver and 2 blockers to the same side. I would have run that quick hitch screen.
They try to go downfield quickly, but the line just kind of blew up. Again, trips off to the left. Hudson rolls out to the left. And that throw out to the far side off the hand of his receiver, Cade Roller.
Classic example of looking downfield and not watching the ball into your hands. It hit him in a bad spot right in the hand. I know you're only 23 and I'm 60, but have you ever heard that term? I know I have many times. Hit him in a bad spot.
Right in the hands. I was not a hands guy. That's why I'm up here.
that could go several different ways. I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Throw deep down the right side. He's got a man wide open. And touchdown, Gunter. Hudson Graham. And I believe that was Cole Lemon.
If you're looking for nails to put into your coffin, even though it's the second quarter, that's a huge nail right there. I mean, the momentum will be with Gunter in that halftime locker room. They're going to have a go in with probably an 18-point lead. And, boy, they just made Whitesboro look bad. That's just a simple streaker out by Lemons, and he ran right by the corner, and the nearest defender was 10 yards away. I mean, that's just a nail in a coffin here in the second quarter.
And when Whitesboro thought that they had Gunter pinned down, Hudson to Lemons for a 50-yard touchdown. They take the 21-3 lead off the extra point.
By the way, it was on a 3rd and 12, wasn't it?
It was.
I mean, what's the secondary looking for on 3rd and 12? A run or, you might want to play 2 deep safety or something, expecting a pass, given the situation and the down and distance. I mean, that's the last thing you would have expected, a long touchdown reception, that was that easy to perform.
Especially at the end of the half like this.
Yes, I mean, gosh, keep everybody in front of you, right? Isn't that the old saying on the last play of the half or next to last?
If they catch it and have to runs out the clock, it doesn't even matter.
Give you an example. Gunter's been really good late in the first half. Last week, I believe the score was 20-7 with about 10 seconds on the clock left in the first half against Whitesboro. Ethan Sloan caught a pass from Graham and scored on the last play of the first half. So Gunter loves those late second quarter plays.
Yeah, they kind of lull the defense to sleep and then strike.
Yeah, I think they put them into a trance there. I mean, the secondary did not look like they were awake there for almost the last play.
The last action of the half is Hubbard will squib it. Looks like Price will field it at about the 7-yard line. Will run it out, try to get something going, but is stopped by a herd of tigers down at the 15-yard
I
line.
believe that'd be a pride. No, it's a pride of lions. So I don't know what to do with tigers and such. Maybe it's a pride too. I don't know. Maybe we can do a little homework at halftime and figure that out.
I'll get that answer for you when we come back for the second
Good.
half.
That means I don't have to.
21-3, the Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats. And more Gunter.
What we're gonna do here, we'll talk a little bit about the first half before we kick off the second half, but right now we're gonna send it back to the station for a little country western music and remind you it's Gunter 21, Whitesboro 3. Be back with the second half in about 20 minutes at the earliest. Scott Powell and Ethan Herrera will be back with you soon here on KXEZ. And we're back at Prosper ISD Stadium, a neutral venue, but a Gunter home game, as they have not had any games at their stadium because of the COVID virus, but very successful so far tonight, 21-3 over Whitesboro. And Scott Powell along with Ethan Herrera. Ethan, 2 late touchdowns by Gunter. They were up just 7-0 until 1:19 left in the first half, and they scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute. You know, Whitesboro really hung in there for most of the first half and made a game out of it.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job of, like you said, hanging in there all game long, all first half. And that last defensive breakdown, they scored a 50-plus yard passing touchdown from Graham to Lemon on a 3rd and 12.
Whitesboro, a team that's never beaten Gunter since 2004, lost the last 6 meetings in a row. Just the 7th straight year they've played, and all the wins by Gunter were easy victories for the most part. And we got a little fumble on the kickoff.
Yeah, it was a pooch kick out to the 30-yard line, but goes out of bounds. I think it was fielded by one of the Bearcats, and they'll take over at about the 26-yard line.
You know, we expected Gunter, after getting beaten by Pottsboro and a little bit of a shocking result last week, we expected Gunter to come out and just blow Whitesboro off the field, and they really haven't until late in the second quarter, and it's still just 21-3 game. But I think, you know, the opening possession of the second half, Whitesboro with the ball, it'll be interesting to see what they can do.
Hermes on the handoff up the middle. It'll be about a 4-yard gain. I think that was Torin Nagelstad, his first carry of the game. So again, with that offset pistol formation, Hermes hands off. Now he keeps it, hits the corner with a couple of yards to make it a 3rd and 4.
You know, it was one of those slow, deliberate fakes on the dive to the fullback where he kind of rode him into the line a little bit and finally pulled it out. The problem with that is it kind of slows down the development of the play and really slowed it down to where he wasn't able to get anything out of that, setting up a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, I think if Hermes pulls that a little bit quicker, maybe a couple more yards, more manageable 3rd down. 2 backs out to the far side. Throw over the middle, keeps his feet. Complete pass up to the 45-yard line. And that was Nagelstad again. Torin Nagelstad with a couple of targets here in this opening drive in the second half.
Really simple pattern to cover. Gunter's just got a huge cushion allowing those receivers. Nagelstad, they allow him to go downfield 5 yards, stop, and just wait for the football. No defender stepped in front. It's like they were just going to let him have it and let him have a first down.
Was hit again out to the right side. And a gain of maybe a yard. Pass out from Hermes.
Yeah, Gunter closed in a hurry as that little tunnel screen, but the quarterback also rolling toward the receiver, who's kind of coming back toward the quarterback. It's an easy pitch and catch, but a long developing play, and Gunter covered it easily. But I'll tell you one thing I like about Whitesboro is their play calling. They've mixed it up well all night long. Gunter, much more predictable, but then again, Gunter has the personnel to be a little bit more predictable.
Hermes on the handoff. He keeps it up the middle, gets a couple of yards, and into Gunter territory on the 49.
Hermes is not the swiftest guy in the world. He's just a smart runner. Can you imagine how good he would be if he was about 2 steps quicker the way he hits that hole?
Well, he finds it quickly. Like you said, he's a smart, high football IQ player. And we've seen it with the arm, the accuracy with the arm. Now we're seeing it with his feet just a little bit more here early in the second half.
Could be 4-down territory.
Up the middle. And he's got open space and a good, actually fantastic open field tackle.
Touchdown saver. Probably.
Yeah, and that was Caden Rigsby.
19 yards, just a quick hitter to the fullback. I mean, if you're not ready for it, he is by you in a hurry. Price is the perfect guy to run the quick hitter because he hits it quick. He's got really quick feet. First 2 steps are really quick.
The line did a great job of making that hole for Price. They'll give it to him once again. Pretty much the same play, this time only a couple of yards.
61, who had a big game last week, Mason Peacock, defensive lineman, kind of stopped it up and filled the hole, and then he, along with Mitchell Brewer, the leading tackler at linebacker, finished him off. So the way you design it, you want your defensive lineman to clog the hole and let the linebackers make the play, and that's exactly what they did.
So 2nd and 8. Hermes hands it off to Price. Price fighting for that. Those extra yards, takes it to the 24-yard line.
Again, probably 4-down territory at 24, although they got a field goal kicker with a good leg. Right now it'd be a 41-yarder, and they're down 21-3. So something tells me if it's 3rd and 4th and short, they're going.
Yeah, Montez,
although it is a non-district game, I mean, it's not do or die tonight for either team.
Montez 1 for 2 on the night. Like you said, he missed a 43-yarder. Hermes on the keeper up the middle, follows his blockers well. And is it a herd of tigers that met him up the middle?
Oh, you were supposed to look it up, and you didn't. By the way, can you tell by the play call that they were going to go on 4th down?
Oh, 100%. Just cut it in half and see if they can get it again. 7.5 to go here in the third. 21-3. The Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats.
Nice opening drive. If Whitesboro could get 7 out of this, they'd have a chance. Right now down 21-3. This started back at their 27-yard line.
They've had a few of these drives to knock off a lot of time. And it's quarterback keeper Hermes up the middle. Can he get it? I think he did.
He did by at least a half a yard. And it wasn't easy. I mean, he could have easily been stopped short, but he got the good body lean. Hermes is a smart runner, knows how to lean that body. He's a fairly tall kid, too. He can stretch that body out across the line.
He's a big body. Has a little nice speed for his body size. So either way, they're inside the 20 with a 1st and 10 from the Gunter 19.
Confidence so important when you're playing a highly ranked team. You get within 11 here with a touchdown, all of a sudden they're going to think they have a chance.
Price up the middle. And I love the way Price runs as he gains about 6 yards.
It's just north and south, isn't it?
He's not trying to juke anybody out. He's going right through you.
Longview and Abilene are not involved in the thought process. It's all Waco and Sherman.
Yeah, right down I-35 for him.
Boy, they're getting, their yards per carry, especially 1st down, is what's setting all this up.
Hermes with the keeper and a good hit by Cooper Wade. Going right at the lower half of Hermes.
Just took his leg out from under. One thing about Gunter, they are so fundamentally strong, especially defensively. I should have said this before the game, but take notice. How many times do you see Gunter trying to tackle somebody from the waist up? Everything is from the waist down. They are the best shoestring tacklers I have ever seen. If you're going to use the term shoestring, you're going to overuse it when you're watching Gunter play defense.
Yeah, you don't get to the state championship game 3 times out of 4 years if you don't know fundamentals. Handoff back up the middle.
Point being, when I played high school football and played linebacker, we were taught to put our helmet into the chest of the running back. That's not how Gunter was taught. I'd love to meet the tackling coach for Gunter. The guy, he obviously is smart, knows what he's doing. Tell you, the way they run this offense, they've had to convert late in series, and they are converting one more time. It says 1st down and 2. Is that right?
It says the down is
the
goal line
is
down.
Wrong, isn't it? Well, the change should, it doesn't make any sense.
The gain of about a yard.
They didn't have a penalty while I was talking, did they? That was the only thing that would explain a 1st and 2, according to the down box.
It says 2nd down, maybe 2nd and goal.
Well, then why are the chains out? You know, you drop the chains if it's 2nd and goal. You see my point?
I know what you're talking. I'm confused too. I'm just trying to make sense of it.
That's what's making it confusing. If it's 2nd and goal, drop the chains. Because it shows that they could get a 1st down at the 6 otherwise.
So apparently 2nd down and 8 to go. Hermes picked off by Gunter at the 1-yard line. He's got some blockers. Cuts it back to the middle of the field. All the way. He's got one man to beat, pushed out by Hermes.
Penalty marker way back behind the play on the return. They threw the flag. This is probably coming back. I didn't see what they did wrong, but every indication says penalty on the return, and there's a Gunter coach really upset down here.
It was Mitchell Brewer on the interception at the 1-yard line and a fantastic return, but like you said, that flag down at Gunter's 25-yard line.
The good news for Gunter, the play will stand because the penalty was thrown during the return, so the interception should be good, and it is against Gunter on the return. I'll tell you, Hermes just never saw Brewer. They were running kind of a deep slant toward the goal line, and Brewer just stepped in front of the pass. And I guarantee you, Hermes never saw him coming.
No, he actually had a good read on what. I tell you what, if he didn't undercut that route, it would have been a touchdown from Hermes.
And I love to play nails in coffins. There's your second nail.
Yeah.
If Gunter goes the distance, it's definitely the second nail in the coffin. Because, again, what a swing in momentum. Whitesboro is saying we can play football with Gunter. They are sticking it down their throats all the way down the field on the opening possession. And then at the goal line, they throw an interception. If Gunter goes the other way, the momentum is huge.
Yeah, Hermes' second interception of the young season.
Why don't we take a quick 30-second timeout. Timeout on the field. 21-3 Gunter here on KXEZ.
Debbie Howard is an 18-year resident of Gunter. She's truly an area expert and has extensive knowledge about the school district, churches, and community. She's been licensed as a real estate agent professional for 19 years and has worked with all types of properties, lands, leases, and homes. She was number 1 in sales last year for Gunter and the top agent in her office, Davidson Lane Real Estate, for all listings and sales. Needs to know anything Gunter, or as she calls it, G-Town related? Ask Deb. Call her, email, or find her on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Again, if you can't get it, the 92.1 FM, KXEZ. If you're out of town, family, friends, be sure to tell them to go to TuneIn Radio and tune in. You can hear our stream anywhere in the world each week, our high school football here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Our sponsors tonight, Debbie Howard Real Estate, our new sponsor here on 92.1, Grayson Cullen Electric Co-op, serving more than 20 ISDs. North Texas Fair coming to Denton October 16th through the 24th. Go get your corny dogs and all the fixings at the North Texas Fair. More in a moment.
Graham Hudson pitches out to Sloan, and Ethan Sloan breaks a tackle, takes it to the 21-yard line, and a gain of 5 after the interception by Cooper Wade.
Don't forget to support our local sponsors. Go shop Preston Trail Farms in Gunter. Print Ink, custom screen printing, and embroidery in Sherman. Thanks to all of our sponsors tonight.
So with 3:50 left to go in the third, 21-3, the Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats in a bunch formation and a pitch out to Ivy Hellman. Breaks a couple of tackles, gets upfield a bit, and is a yard shy of the first down.
And you say holding. Where this flag occurred and when it was thrown, it has holding. If you went down there and looked at the flag, it would say holding on it. That's how obvious this is. David, we'll look up here and tell us. Gosh, it's holding, believe it or not.
So it looks like we'll see a backfield of Hellman and Bennett. And Bennett had a big first half.
Wasted opportunities for Whitesboro tonight. I'll tell you about a couple in a moment.
The Graham in the pistol formation. Hands it off to Bennett right on cue, but it's stopped. The number 44, Paul Velton.
Second possession of the game, they went from their 42 to the 26 and missed a 43-yard field goal. That just came up a little bit short. As I look for the next one. Then late in the midway second quarter, they put together a nice drive and kicked the field goal, but they could have gotten 7 out of that, and they got 3. So there's 2 missed opportunities right there.
Missed opportunities are the story for Whitesboro. And it's the penalties that have held back. Gunter is a fake to the right side, and it's Bennett. Makes a cut. Heads up field. Has a man to beat. Still on his feet down to the Whitesboro 34-yard line and a big run.
Beautifully designed play there, Ethan. It was a delay draw, counter draw handoff. A couple of linemen pulling out in front. Graham sprints back to his left and gives it on the draw to Bennett going the other way. And, boy, they had him completely fooled, and he went untouched for most of that.
Well, once he got halfway down there, the patience by Bennett paid off, and a pitch out to Sloan gets a couple of yards. It looks like the Gunter offense is well underway now.
Yeah, I'd like to see them, when they get on these little rolls, I like to see them line up and go again quickly. They seem to be at their best when they're going quickly and on a roll.
Yeah, we saw at the end of the first half. Right now they're slowing it down just a bit.
Yeah, they are.
Looks like it'll be trips out to the left side with Sloan as the slot back. Graham out to Sloan, gets a block, cuts it upfield, thrown around a bit, and is taken down by number 5, Major Ledbetter on the outside.
Interesting tackling by Ledbetter. He slings him around in a circle, and Sloan would not go down. So he did the same thing again, slung him around in a circle, and the second time he went down.
Yeah, threw him about 5 extra yards ahead. I think the officials are talking about maybe the way.
Another flag. Yeah.
Maybe the way he tackled him or the extracurricular after the play.
Maybe some kind of illegal motion. Oh, they're picking it up. So the play will stand. And it'll be a first down.
So first down, Gunter, 21-3, 1:44 left to go here in the third. Deep inside Whitesboro territory at the 19. Graham with an empty backfield. Haven't seen that much today. 3 out to the right, 2 out to the left. He quarterback keeper. And gets a block, heads up field, but doesn't get much, maybe a yard.
Yeah, Saul Rodriguez was lined up over here as a slot kind of wing back, and he missed his block, and that's why it only went for a yard.
So Lemberg in for a play. He comes out. Sloan comes in. And Mitchell Brewer had the interception on the 1-yard line for the Tigers, comes in, and he'll be that tight end off the right side. Graham off to Rodriguez, a flag thrown, and a gain of about 4 on the play.
Another holding call coming against Gunter. Where it's thrown and when it was thrown has holding written all over it. And he threw it at the feet of the holder.
Another penalty.
You know, it's bad enough the officials now call out the offender, so we're going to give the guy who did it a break and not tell you who he is.
So Bennett comes out. Still kind of a slow offense to start this second half for Gunter. Graham hands it off to Hellman. A spin move, gets him out of the way, gets him a couple of extra yards down to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, he took a shot from Jay Sanders and bounced off of him like a pinball, spinning, and got an extra couple. And that'll shorten the need on third. Probably 4-down territory anyway. 3rd and 5 at the Whitesboro 24.
Yeah, not sure if Hubbard's distance or range has been tested yet this season. But they're trying to make that point moot.
Right now it'll be a 41-yard attempt approximately.
Graham to the end zone, got a man open. And it's touchdown, Cannon Limburg. Hudson Graham on a fantastic pass after the play fake.
Yeah, they love that play action fake, and he was wide open again. 24 yards. And I believe all the nails that are needed for the coffin are now in place. And it all started with that Mitchell Brewer interception at the end zone that just completely changed things.
Yeah, well, Hudson Graham and the Tigers smell blood as they go up 27-3. We'll see if Hubbard can make it an even 28-3 score over the Whitesboro Bearcats. Hold down, up, and good. 28-3 at the end of the third quarter.
I'll tell you about the impressive scoring drive when we come back.
Gunter leads 28-3. You're listening to 92.1 KXEZ FM.
Scoring drive for Gunter, very impressive. Only 8 plays to go 84 yards. Used the final 4:18 off the third quarter clock. 24-yard touchdown pass. Graham to Lindbergh. It's 28-3 Tigers. 92.1 FM KXEZ, the Possum, and KHYI 95.3 The Range are deeply rooted and invested here in North Texas. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your support. Don't forget KXEZ 92.1, your Metroplex home on the radio for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. Aggies kick off at home against Vanderbilt September 26th. I'll look up that time, see if they have a time yet. I forgot to do that. And then Alabama comes to Kyle Field October 3rd, and then they play Florida. So big games to open the season. You can hear them all with a 1-hour pregame right here on KXEZ. Kickoff return and a penalty marker.
Sean Shares had a good return, actually. Reversed the field all the way from the right side, ended up in the out of bounds over into a 35, but like you said, a flag on the play on the opposite side of the field on the 35.
Having seen these officials 3 weeks in a row, they are not afraid of the flag. In other words, they all have one. And I think some of them have 3 or 4 of them.
I've seen some double barrel action from them.
Oh, we do have time. So that opener for A&M on the 26th against Vanderbilt at 5:30 pregame and a 6:30 kickoff right here on 92.1. Alabama will be a 2:30 game. I'm a little shocked they already have a time for that one. They usually wait. That'll be a 1:30 pregame for Alabama on October 3rd, and then Florida does not have a game time yet on October the 10th. A&M football here on KXEZ.
So a 15-yard penalty onto the return sets Whitesboro up at their 20. He hits the corner off a handoff. That's going to be Torrin Nagelstad, still running with the crowd. Down to the 34-yard line. And a 14-yard run by Nagelstad. Another first down and another impressive start to a drive for Whitesboro. Empty backfield, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Man comes across. Hermes keeps it up the middle. And he is taken down at the 37 by Brandon Wilcox.
Trey Oblis was also there. Whitesboro's had a lot of third down conversions tonight. They've had to try and get.
Hermes. Pass complete. It's about the 43-yard line. Again, it's Torrin Nagelstad. He's had his way here in the second half.
Coach Herrera, what do you do here? It's 3rd and 1. I thought it was 4th and 1. I think you'll go on 3rd and 1, don't you?
I think so. I would keep the punting team on the sideline for this one. And Hermes keeps it with a lead blocker, gets the first down. He's met by a couple of Tigers. You see Mitchell Brewer down at the bottom of that pile.
This game is so fast-moving. If it wasn't for the penalties, I think we'd be home in our jammies already.
Hey, but I don't mind staying out watching some live sports.
You don't get out much, do you?
I haven't since about March. Throw, tip, incomplete pass, intended.
I like to hear that because I know you're not infected, probably. That's good news.
Now, I try to keep my distance from everybody. I was doing that for 4 years.
I was going to say you've been doing that for about 23 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Staying away from everybody before they made it a legal action that I had to. I was actually excited for it. Second and 10, 10-20 left, 10-21 left to go on this one. 28-3. Gunter leads Whitesboro. Hand off to Nagelstad. No, had me faked out. Hermes kept it, went right back up the middle, and a gain of 2 yards.
Going quickly here on 3rd and 8. Probably 4-down territory near midfield.
Trying to draw a hard count.
Looks like they're also maybe changed the play. And, yeah, they had the idea of drawing them off maybe.
Hermes back. Throws it deep down the field. And what a catch. Interception down near the 5-yard line. Make it the 6th. And I think
Cole Lemons.
I think it was Cole Lemons.
Yeah.
Had the touchdown earlier, has an interception this time, do it on both sides of the ball.
It really, the receiver was never open. He just literally just reared back and just threw that as far as he could.
I think it's a case of Hermes just trying to make a play.
Yeah, Lemons almost looked like the intended receiver. He overthrew his receiver by a good 5 yards.
He had a fantastic over-the-shoulder catch for that interception. The second interception by this Tigers defense. They'll take over the 6-yard line. Got 94 yards to go. They want that touchdown score. Either way, they lead it by 25, 28-3 with 9:43 left to go in this one. You see Hudson Graham leading his Tigers back out on the field with a couple of receivers to his right. They hand it off, wide play, but stopped in the goal line. The line of scrimmage for no gain.
7th straight year these two teams have played. Gunners won every one of them by an average margin of 30 points. A pretty similar game here tonight. Although give Whitesboro credit, they hung in there early.
Offensively, they had some fantastic drives. And like you said, early in this one, defensively, they held Gunter to 7 points until the last bit of the second quarter.
Yeah, it was 7-0. Gunter scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute and 11 seconds of the first down.
The end around to Cannon Lemberg nets him about 5 yards. So it'll be about, 3rd and 6 with just under 9 to go.
Might make it home for supper. You heard the old expression, don't cancel your dinner reservations quite yet?
I don't think I've made any dinner reservations in quite a while.
You're missing the point.
Graham back, tries to put that touch on it, just overthrows Cannon Lemberg. I mean, if he could have put it in that pocket and dropped it in the bucket, I would have been quite impressed, especially with 3 guys on Lemberg down the field. So 4th and 6. You would think that Gunner's going to punt. And Torin Nagelstad back deep to receive the punt, standing about the 48-yard line. Graham blocked. Punt blocked, headed to the end zone, and scooped up by the Bearcats. Recovered by Major Ledbetter.
Sterling Garton blocked it right up the middle.
Graham didn't have a great catch after the snap, and Garton simply just rose up, hit both of his hands, almost looked like it hit the top of his head with his helmet. And the Bearcats will take over at the 1-yard line, deep in the Gunter territory. Got a feeling they're going to go Ledbetter on this one. Excuse me, Ledbetter. Price.
I don't think they're going to throw it anytime soon.
Quarterback keeper to Hermes. Dances around but can't get in, and a big play and a big stop by Lane Doty. So Ethan Sloan also in to make that tackle.
Just kind of gives Gunter, they got the game wrapped up. It kind of gives them something to shoot for here, a stop, a stand.
Hermes with the quarterback sneak, try to do it once more.
He's close.
No signal yet.
I think they're running in to see if he got over.
And touchdown.
Yeah, they had to kind of unpilot because it was right at the goal line to see if he did score.
Yeah, Hermes. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Hermes gets in with a touchdown, 28-9, and looks like we'll see a little bit of trickery out of the Whitesboro offense. And ultimately will elect to kick the extra point. Hold is good. Kick is up, and it is good. Jorge Montez tacks on the extra point, and it's 28-10 with 7:46 left to go in this game. The Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats. More 3A Texas high school football action when we return. You're listening to 92.1 KXEZ FM. Bearcats, after a score, tried an onside kick it, and the Tigers fall on it. Looks like it was Ben Wilcox. All on the onside kick attempt, and they'll take over. The Tigers will on their 46-yard line, 47-yard line. 28-10 the score, 7:43 left to go in this one. And it looks like the Tigers got a little bit of their mojo back from last week, especially as of late. You see Hudson Graham with his big arm.
I've got the polls now for this week. Let's see what happened to Gunter in the polls. They were number one.
Pitch out to the left. It's Ethan Sloan, who's had a great day. It's dragged down from behind. Initially, it was number 73, Kyler Murphy, on the tackle.
Thought you were going to say Kyler Murray there for a minute. Gunter only fell one place from first to second. And Canadians number one. But, what respect? You lose by a couple of touchdowns and you only fall one place from 1 to 2.
Especially this early in the season.
There's something weird, though. Newton, who's number 4, they're still 0-0. Did he play a game? Can you win a state championship without playing a game?
I'll have to check the rule book on that one.
Can you be the number one team in the state without playing a game?
Ivy Hellman on the pitch from Graham. Gets a few yards. 3rd and 5 to go.
Pottsboro, by the way, our lighting keeps going out. Pottsboro remain number 3, which is really hard to believe.
Although last time I checked, Melissa was up 30-3 against Pottsboro.
Well, they won't. Yeah, they're getting beat big, but still, they beat the number 1 team in Division 2, and they don't move up a spot in the poll this week.
Pass intended for Ben Wilcox falls incomplete from Hudson Graham. And with 4th and 5 to go, Graham will elect to punt. It'll be Tornagostab, the deep man for the Bearcats.
So this might be more times than Gunter punted all last year in this game.
Like somebody dropped off sides, and Graham will try to run with it, reverses his field. He's got a wide open field if he catches that deep corner. And he catches it. Gets the first down, but he steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
I'm guessing the initial flag might be offside, but
I did see a defensive lineman jump.
Okay. Well, this play will count then. It was as the play started, and it's right at the line, and it is offside against Whitesboro. So what? Graham got 15 yards, and he ran about 30 yards. That's good, because a lot of times when we say he ran 30 yards, you only get 2 or 3.
We're talking about the fair a bunch today. Put that over there, maybe in the circus as well. And all the way to the right side, and Graham reversed his field, stepped out of bounds at the 35 on the exact opposite side. So first down for Gunter. Hand off to Bennett. Open up the middle. Nobody's going to catch him, and a touchdown, Gunter. Touchdown, Ashton. Ashton Bennett on the big score, his third touchdown of the game.
Yeah, they've been close to doing that all night. Those quick hitters up the middle, and he finally was able to race. You know, Bennett's got pretty good speed for a pounding type back. Well, you talk about north and south.
Yeah, big time two running backs like that. Price,
he gets to South Padre quicker than most.
Hubbard gets it down and gets it up. And tack on another extra point, 35-10. The Gunter Tigers lead the Whitesboro Bearcats. More Texas high school football on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
And we're back. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors tonight. Preston Trail Farms and Gunter, Spirit Ink, custom screen printing and embroidery in Sherman. Shop local. Support those local sponsors. Kickoff return for Whitesboro, a short one.
It was a high kick from Hubbard, fielded by Reed Thompson. And they get to the 35-yard line.
Debbie Howard Real Estate. Good to have Debbie along this week. Grayson Collin Electric Co-op, serving more than 20 ISDs at North Texas Fair. It'll be in Denton October 16th through the 24th. You can get those corny dogs and all the fixings. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Grayson Collin Electric Co-op, as I said. Again, A&M football, game one, September 26th. 5:30 pregame, 6:30 kickoff against Vanderbilt. All the A&M games right here on 92.1 FM, your Metroplex home.
35-10 the score. Hermes drops back, is chased out of the pocket, brought down from behind by Martin Garcia. Martin chased him down out of the pocket, brought him down for a huge sack on the play.
Yeah, you don't have 14-yard sacks very often.
especially this late in the game. Up 35-10. Then again, Hermes probably trying to do something, make it a little interesting. Go out far side, pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And that was Sean Shares. Coming into the game, Hermes 205 yards, 63%, 10.8 yards of carry, and attempt. Looks like he's doing something a bit with that in regards to the completion percentage. Adding to that this game, and as I say that, throws it wide out of bounds.
Yeah, it might have been his worst pass of the night right after you're bragging on him.
I guess I'll stop bragging on Hermes.
Shares did a quick out, and Hermes did a quick in.
That'll bring out the punt team. And Sterling Garden, who blocked the punt earlier, comes in to punt himself.
Rugby-style punter.
No deep man for the Tigers.
Not sure it would have done any good because it was deep into this near side. They probably would have let it go anyway. That might be the longest punt of the night.
Down to the 26-yard line.
There might be 50 yards there.
So the Gunter offense will take over 35-10 with 5:06 left to go in this one. That touchdown earlier by Hermes, the second touchdown of the year for this Whitesboro team. Both involve Jacob Hermes.
By the way, I mentioned Gunter's number 2 to Canadian. Gunter and Canadian have played in the state semifinals the last 4 years in Vernon, and we've had them for you right here on KXEZ.
A couple of offset receivers and a pass to Ethan Sloan. Little quick out and screen almost as Sloan gains a few yards. Gets to the 32-yard line.
Now you got to wonder why they're throwing the ball.
To give some extra practice to Hudson Graham. Trips out to the right side. Power pistol formation. Again, Graham drops back, rolls out to his right. Has a receiver go deep. There's a couple of receivers there. Jump ball. And it was caught. My goodness. What a catch from Cade Roller, going up above everybody. And a big-time catch from the senior. Takes it all the way down into Whitesboro territory at their 40-yard line. Trips out to the left. Another pass deep down the sidelines. Got a man. And it's caught. Going up top.
Can you say spiral? What a beautiful pass.
Cannon Lemberg was right there to make the catch, and a beautiful, beautiful pass, like you said, from Hudson Graham.
He underthrew him, I mean, just slightly to where Lemberg had to reach back, but I'm not sure he had to slow down. That was almost the perfect pass. And as you like to say, he dropped it in over the defender. It was a couple of yards away.
Throwing it straight into the basket. And another score for this Gunter team, and this offense has been rolling here in the second half. Hubbard puts it up and in for the extra point, 42-10 to score.
Yeah, you would never know this was a 7-0 game with 1:20 left in the first half.
Under 4 minutes to go in this one. It was, like you said, 7-0 going into the second quarter, 7-3 actually.
It was 21-3 at the time. Whitesboro is driving to get within 21-10. You know, opening possession second half, and I think that's when the game definitely changed. I'm not saying Whitesboro would have won it, but they would have, you would have liked their chances if they could have gotten within 21-10. Interception at the goal line by Mitchell Brewer. Gunter goes the other way. Ball game.
And there's plenty of moments that you could say that were the dagger, but that for sure.
I do nails. I don't do daggers.
Well, there's plenty of nails that you could ask to put in there, but that had to be the absolute nail in the coffin, taking the breath.
That's why we're good for each other, Ethan. You know, we have different weapons of choice.
I definitely go dagger. I was never a great carpenter. Hubbard set to kick it off. Bryce the deep man for the Bearcats.
Nice kick. Although returnable.
Met by a herd of Tigers.
All right, I'm going to look it up just because I'm sick of hearing about it. What do you call a group of tigers? It is a herd of buffalo and a pride of lions?
A murder of crows?
You're kidding me. You made that up.
No, that one's correct. That's the only one I'll stand on.
Say it again.
A murder of crows.
M-U-R-D-E-R? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my gosh. It doesn't make any sense.
A business conference of monkeys? I'm joking.
No, it's time to change the subject.
Hermes in an empty backfield has Price in motion. Throw across the middle of the field, and it's Torrin Nagelstad. Down to the 25-yard line.
Lists of names for groups of animals. I couldn't have asked for more from Google.
I think it's collective nouns is the proper term.
Oh, my God.
Nagelstad again across the 30. And a great open field tackle from Caden Rigsby.
All right, I'm looking for tigers. They got just about every animal on here. Listed alphabetically.
Approaching 3 minutes to go.
Oh, my God.
In the pocket, goes out to his left.
An ambush of tigers.
Ambush. Fantastic. That works out for us perfectly.
What's the one you said that I couldn't believe?
A murder of crows.
All right, I'm going to prove you right or wrong. You're right.
That's a first.
A quiver of cobras. Yeah, I know I'd quiver if I ran by a cobra. Okay, I could go. I could just keep reading these, but we got football.
Oh, yeah, by the way, 42-10. 3:02 left to go in this one. Hermes threw that one out of bounds after he was chased out of the pocket. Drops back. Rushed out of the pocket again. Throw to the middle of the field. And broken up by Ashton Bennett. Chased out of the pocket by Jordan Long.
I got to correct you. It's 22.
Is it 22?
Just in case his parents are listening.
Eric Tapia.
I think Tapia might be a backup. That's why I wanted to make sure we got that right.
It was a great play by Tapia coming across
Yeah.
the receiver and breaking up that pass play.
That's what you call closing on the ball.
I'll keep that in mind. Another end over end punt. Out of bounds at about the 45. Make it the 43-yard line.
Well, they're still marking it off, so it's going to get better. Just 48. It's been a long fourth quarter because Gunter decided not to just run out the clock.
Yeah, Gunter went for the deep ball and changed possession.
Let's see if we get some new people in there. You know, they don't have a huge bench. Well, Tapia's coming in, probably at running back. He plays running back. We'll see where he goes, number 22. Yeah, they're calling people to come and get in the huddle, so they're literally bringing them in one at a time here.
Jordan Long, Trey Oblis down there.
Yeah, Tapia is going to be your running back and a new quarterback.
Ivy Hellman.
Yes.
Hellman, a pitch out. And a great run by Cannon Lemberg.
Lemberg is, you know, he would be considered second, third team, and he's had a heck of a game tonight. What, 2 touchdown receptions?
Hey, he's been fantastic.
Yeah. Something tells me he's going to see more playing time, but it's funny, he's in there now as a, you know, clear the bench backup. And probably loving every minute of it.
Yeah, you see Hudson Graham finally getting the rest and Hellman taking over.
Whitesboro timeout. Why don't we take what might be our last one? Back in a moment. 30 seconds here on KXEZ.
Back here with Gunter Tigers football, they lead the Whitesboro Bearcats 42-10. And handoff end around from Hellman. And a flag is thrown on the play. It was to Cade Dodson. Let's see what the flag is. But they've had a fantastic game, approaching 2 minutes, 2:08 officially on the clock. Holding on Gunter. Go ahead back a few yards, erase that play from Dodson. After a loss to Pottsboro last week, they come back firing, the Tigers do. 42-10 to score. Like you said, give Whitesboro credit. They hung in there for a half.
It was 7-0 late in the second quarter, 7-3.
Out of the bunch. Kevin will take the snap. Gives it out to Lemberg, and Lemberg will get a few yards.
Now, if the officials will decide to keep their flags in their pockets, we may be down to like 3 plays here if we're lucky.
Yeah, I don't see anybody looking real antsy down there to throw their flag out.
Oh, I'll bet they got one more hold in them.
You know, I'll take the under. Again in the bunch. Hellman handed off end around. And another few yards gained by Lemberg. So overall, fantastic game from Gunter. Defensively, they showed up big time.
It wasn't a complete shutdown. Whitesboro had some yardage, but between the 20s, especially early, that's why Gunter took charge finally. They kept them out of the end zone when they had to.
A couple of fantastic games from Ethan Sloan. Obviously, Hudson Graham had a big game. Lemberg and Lemons as well chipped in with a couple of touchdowns. Line drive punt inside the 20. And it'll be down at the 1 yard line.
He could have downed it back at the 10 and just slowly got in front of the ball so he could wait for it to stop, or he could stop it himself at the 1 yard line. I was afraid it's going to get away from him because he was kind of behind the ball the whole time, but he played it just right, got in front of it right before it reached the 1 yard line.
That's what's called being calm, cool, and collected. Cannon Lemberg has another stat or another feat to his amazing game.
And that is not as easy as it looks. I mean, it would have been real easy to be impatient and do it at the 5 instead of the 1. The 1, you're taking a chance. What if it took a weird hop at the last second?
At the last second.
At the 5, you can recover. If it's a critical game and we're tied, you might have been a little more conservative, in other words.
11 seconds to go in this one, all wrapped up, 42-10 the score, and Gunter Tigers will move to 2-1 on the season.
Well, we mention our sponsors one more time as we're going to go off the air here. Don't forget to support these sponsors and shop Preston Trail Farms in Gunter. Spirit Inc., custom screen printing and embroidery in Sherman. Debbie Howard Real Estate, a new sponsor here on KXEZ. Grayson Collin Electric Co-op. They serve more than 20 ISDs. The North Texas Fair, October 16 through 24 in Denton. Go get your corny dogs and all the fixings at the North Texas Fair. Reminder, A&M football, we are your Metroplex home. First game, pregame 5:30, kickoff 6:30. That is 2 weeks from tomorrow, September the 26th. And don't forget our game next week, our final game before we go to Royce City for their regular season every Friday night. Next Friday night, Van Alstyne plays host to Gainesville, 7:30. We'll be on the air 7:15 with our pregame, Ethan and I, next Friday night. So come back with us. Enjoyed it, sir. Thanks for becoming a KXEZ announcer, and you'll hear us the rest of the season.
Proud and happy to be here.
Thank you. And any final words, any final comments?
No, I'm glad football is back officially. We're getting into the season, going on week 4 next week, and I'm excited to see it play out.
So, again, a reminder, our final score, Gunter goes to 2-1 with a 42-22 win over Whitesboro, who remains winless now at 0-3. Again, we're in Van Alstyne next Friday, 7:30, 7:15 pregame. Van Alstyne plays host to Gainesville. 42-22, Gunter a winner tonight. For Ethan Herrera, I'm Scott Powell from Prosper, Texas. So long, everybody.